I thought all year, Sammy, the Rams were the better team. I'm wrong.
Sam Darnold to the Super Bowl. Drake May to the Super Bowl.
If you knew the snowstorm was coming, it's almost malpractice.
Sammy mentioned, I'm going to keep eating shit for this Patriots take.
The Titans looked around and said, Vrabel's the problem. He's got to go. What a moronic decision.
You're guaranteeing yourself now $150,000.
Like 7 win-type teams. I can't wait to let 18 and 22-year-olds push it.
I made a call, to Vegas. I said, look, we actually need the paper.
Well, the Super Bowl is set. A couple of 60-1 shots prior to the season. Patriots and Seahawks will be Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara. Sammy P, Geoff Schwartz join me as always. Couple of, I would say, one great game and one close game, but interesting weekend of football.
It certainly was. I'm pro playing outside in the snow. I know that seems a controversial take, but I'm okay with a different weather game. Then we had a great game, rubber match, game 3 between Rams and Seahawks. And I thought all year, Sammy, the Rams were the better team. I'm wrong, right? Seattle keeps beating them at the end.
Sam Darnold to the Super Bowl. Drake May to the Super Bowl. And we have a couple days left to funnel that video of Jeff calling the Pats Fugazi to the Patriots so we can see that on social media.
Well, at least you got the ATS cover there, Jeff, with the Broncos covering all numbers there. It was, I guess you have to start. Well, I don't know where you start. I'll start with just the decision by Sean Payton to go for it on 4th down, up 7-0. You kick the field goal, you go up 10. I guess my question is, was it known that this snowstorm was coming, or was this just a fluke freak snowstorm? Because if you knew the snowstorm was coming, it's almost malpractice to not take the points there, go up 2 scores, knowing that bad weather is coming. Now, if it was indeed a freak storm and it was not supposed to be this bad, that I can kind of get and understand there. Right, we got Jared Stidham. I don't know how many more chances we're going to get to be in this position to score a touchdown, to go up 14, and maybe that's a different tone. So I don't know, but at the time I was like, and now afterwards, it sure did matter, that decision, quite a bit.
So, all right. So I was doing radio Sunday before the game, and we were talking about the weather because one of the guys you radio was sending weather. I pulled up right here what he said, we talked about. So second quarter, snow, a little bit of snow, wind 12 miles an hour, 11 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour. Fourth quarter, a little bit of snow. The problem was, Bear, the wind was much worse than what was predicted. That I think was the big issue. We saw in the game, like one direction the wind was good, one it wasn't. The Broncos actually had the better wind in the fourth quarter. As far as the 4th down decision, man, I hated the play call. There's about 4 different plays you can run with a backup quarterback. They ran one of the 4 plays. Like, that's the problem, right? If they score there, go 14-0, the game might be over, right? No one wasn't moving the ball. They had 1 touchdown, a 12-yard drive. That was it, off a backwards pass, which I'm not even sure was the right call in the end. But I know Sammy mentioned I'm going to keep eating shit for this Patriots take, but the fact is, their EPA in the playoffs is the same as the Jets had on offense the entire regular season.
I love it.
Okay, their quarterback threw for 82 yards yesterday in the playoffs so far. 3 games, he's completing 55% of passes. His adjusted air yards per attempt is 4.71. 5 touchdowns, 5 turnovers. It's not been good in offense. And so, Sammy, I'll go down with the ship, man. I'm 1-2 betting against the Patriots in the postseason. I'm hoping to go 2-2 because I'm doing it again.
You could do a double dip in the Super Bowl, get over the top, right? Make it 3-2 if you really want to. The issue in the game for Denver was twofold. Number one, eventually the steam was going to run out of the locomotive on Stidham, and it did. He had that one nice throw early, the 52-yarder to Mims, and after that, it was a bunch of garbage. And really, they missed J.K. Dobbins. You thought they might get him back with the injury, but he did not play. There they had 79 yards rushing. So if you can't run the ball and the defense is daring you to throw in a blizzard, like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I thought, in hindsight, it's always 2020 with these coaching decisions. Peyton doesn't kick the field goal to go up 10-0, but then he brings the kicker out when the wind is swirling. Like, what are you doing? You want to kick that one from 47 when the goalposts are shaking? I thought it was a weird game, but he covered, right? He covered the 5.5. That was a hell of a move because we talked about on this show taking Denver at 5 and 5.5, closed 3.5, and a 10-7 final.
Yeah, and it did look, even before the weather got bad, it looked like a dead under game. And I texted that to you guys, and it was. What Geoff said, I think, is something that a lot of people find aggravating about this, and all of the people who think everyone is anti-patriot and everyone hates the Patriots. No, the issue is that this march, this creed, this to give Drake May and the credit for this unbelievable run. And you look at the 3 games, you had one offensive touchdown against the Chargers, the one offensive touchdown yesterday, and then you got 5 turnovers against the Texans, and you scored 3 times. It's been a historic defensive run. Just say that our defense has been awesome, our offense has been garbage, and the defense has carried us to this run. And I think a lot more people would be more accepting, embracing of what New England has done. But it's just like this, like you're trying to pound, Drake May, no, he hasn't done anything that really has made you to get you to this point in the playoffs. So it'll be like, it was amazing how close we were yesterday to having that game go scoreless into overtime. Because you mentioned it, the bomb to Mims early was like the only throw he made all day. The bonehead fumble, which might not have even been a fumble to set up New England's only touchdown in the game. And then the 4th down call where they gave Drake May a first down, and there isn't a chance in the world he got forward progress to get a first down there. Like, that's how those were the 3 scoring plays yesterday. The game very easily could have been 0-0.
It could have been. Look, the Drake May one, there's not overturning the call on the field. There wasn't enough evidence to do that. Maybe the chip in the football in the future is a way to really be able to tell if he got over the first down marker. I do want to give credit to Mike Vrabel. I thought he managed this game in the second half very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
He understood what Bear just talked about, the conditions of the game and how it was going. And once they went up 10-7, he said, our offense is not losing the game for us. We're going to run the football and punt, run the football and punt, run the football and punt. We are not going to get in a situation where we lose the game because Drake May has a Jarrett Stidham play, right? Where Stidham obviously just throwing the ball on the ground and been over it and moved it along. Instead, look, Bear, on that play, it's interesting. If I throw the ball forward, and the ball leaves my hand and gets tipped and goes backwards, it's an incomplete pass. It's deflected.
Yes.
But I think because he hit his hand, not the ball, it ends up being a backwards pass because it did go behind Stidham. I think it's very technicality, but I know the refs kind of sort of blundered all of that. But I think it's the right call in the end. But Vrabel, dude, again, Sammy, like he's done a masterful job of managing these games, and he should get credit for that.
I did see a very funny post from Jamie Eisner. The Patriots since December 21st of last year, 2025. The Patriots since December 21st have won as many games as the Titans have since they fired Vrabel. Brilliant. The Titans looked around and said, Vrabel's the problem. He's got to go. What a moronic decision.
Not our ownership, not our GM, not all that. That head coach, he's the problem. And I can't remember if it was after the Texans game, in between the week or not, but I do recall Drake May saying something along the line. I believe it was Drake May saying any drive that ends with a kick is good, whether it's a field goal.
I hate that saying.
You hate that saying?
I don't know, man. That feels like a very old school football thing.
Yeah,
Like,
but yesterday I think that was kind of the point. Like either we're kicking an extra point or we're punting, and that's a good play. I mean, it means you're not turning the ball over.
I know people have used that for years. It's fine, Bear. It brings me back to a time when I had coaches that were just the worst game managers ever. That they'd call a play like, oh, a punt's better than going for it on 4th and 4, and like, no, we could go for it. It's okay. So I know I again, Vrabel managed that game very, very well. I think in 2 weeks will be a different. It'd be different. It'd be hard for this offense to move the ball against Seattle.
This is a conversation we were having yesterday. Like, if you were to, and again, it's you're in the Super Bowl, you're there, but in terms of, if you were to rank like Super Bowl teams, like this Patriots team's gotta be way down on the list in terms of like probably I'd say maybe the 2000 Giants were not a great team. The 85 Patriots were not a great team. The 94 Chargers were like, nah. Maybe one of those George Allen Redskins teams in the early 70s. Like, but just factoring in everything, I'd be curious to see the historians take a list on that. But Patriots are in the Super Bowl, and they are now. I guess it's back down to 4.5. Sammy, so we saw it hit 6, I think, and then come right back down.
I saw 5.5 last night. If it hit 6, wow, I was shocked by that.
I could be wrong.
So DraftKings and FanDuel, because they don't have rotation numbers to wait for, they can hang numbers whenever they want, and they're usually soft. They hung 3.5, and then Vegas opened 4.5. I saw 5.5 on the high side, and now the 5.5s are all gone. I see a 5 at Pinnacle, but your market is 4.5, which is ironically enough exactly what I have this game. I have Seattle 4.5, so I'm right on the number. Let's also, guys, I mean, look, we can call the Patriots whatever we want. They are here, and they have covered all season. 20 games, they're 15-5 ATS. There will be an appetite to bet them, Geoff, as dogs, knowing full well that a lot of those covers, those 15 covers, a lot of those came when they were laying points. There will be an appetite to bet New England from some wise guys.
I'm sure there will be. I got Seattle minus 3.5. I just think Seattle's much better. As we spin it forward a bit here. I mean, I just don't know what advantages New England has in this game, other than Sam Darnold maybe turning into a pumpkin. Now, Sam Darnold yesterday, guys, was incredible. I think for me, yesterday, Sam Darnold erased all the memories of poor performances of the past. And maybe this is an outlier, and maybe this is not how good he'll be in the Super Bowl, but Sam Darnold was incredible yesterday. He was unbelievable. And, again, in every big moment up to this in his career, he had not played well. The Rams are in the season, 2 games last year, times with the Jets. And if he plays like that, mistake-free football, now he does throw some balls in harm's way. He doesn't make a perfect game. But that offensive game plan by Kubiak, that was a diabolical play call that JSN out of the backfield to run that little scissors route into the corner. I mean, a great game plan from Kubiak. Darnold played great. Seattle's offensive lines played much better. I just don't know where New England has any sort of advantage schematically. Look, Vrabel's great. McDonald's great too, right? Now, maybe Vrabel, having been in this spot before, just as a player, obviously, is beneficial. But Seattle, John Schneider, their GM, has been in this spot before too. So it's not like there's an extra experience factor here. I just like the matchup for Seattle, who maybe we didn't give enough credit to all season, but they've been the best team all season.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned John Schneider, because I want to bring it back to and then touch on the Patriots as well. And you alluded to, like, sometimes you hated all the old school football coaching, conservative type of. And here you have a situation where a couple of years ago, the Seahawks are kind of, I put a tweet out there, like they're kind of running on that like hamster wheel of mediocrity. And they just could have run it well. You could have kept Pete Carroll and been okay. You could have kept Geno Smith and been okay. But you know what? They said, screw this. We okay is not an option. We want to be better. They made the right call. They fired Pete Carroll. They made the right call. They got rid of Geno Smith. You got a new, up-and-coming, young, aggressive, great head coach who can relate to all of these players. You brought in Sam Darnold. You paid him that money, and you got him. And here you are 2 years later. you're in the Super Bowl. So kudos to John Schneider and the Seahawks for making the bold, aggressive, maybe a move that a lot of people wouldn't have made. So good for them. And on the flip, same thing with the New England Patriots. You saw 1 year of Jared Mayo, and that's all Robert Kraft needed to see. Like, you fold the dead hand, throw it away, discard. You saw very little hope that was going to get better. You got rid of him. You brought in Mike Vrabel. You had a quarterback in Drake May to work with, and here you are. You're in the Super Bowl. So all these franchises out there in the NFL that are afraid to be bold, take a little bit of a risk, be aggressive in making a move. Let this be a lesson to you. Might be talking to the New York Jets.
Jets.
Here,
Jets.
as well. But give the Patriots front office, the Seahawks front office, all the credit in the world for making these moves to put these two teams in the position they're in today.
And how about both GMs come from the Ted Thompson tree in Green Bay, right? Elliott Wolf, John Schneider, they both worked under Thompson in Green Bay, and now they meet in the Super Bowl. You always look for those storylines. I'm sure we won't hear about that for the next 2 weeks, but they both come from that Packer tree. The Packers are home, but a lot of Packer representation in the Super Bowl.
Bear, if you're a Jets fan, are you rooting for Sam Darnold to have success? Or are you rooting for the Pats to win? You're rooting for Sam Darnold, right?
I'm rooting for Sam Darnold. I was a Sam Darnold guy.
Okay.
I'm absolutely rooting for Sam. And I have quite a few. Molly's uncle's a Seattle native, and he's out there, so I'll root for them. I have a couple of really good friends who are Seahawks fans as well. I'll be rooting for them. We mentioned we talked about what eventually was the fumble in that game. I still don't know what happened at the end of the game in Seattle on the final drive on third down. It felt to me like what they called on the field, like catch and first down, was like the one thing that my eyes didn't see that it was. I think it could have been a catch and he was short. Could have been a catch and then he fumbled. Could have been an incomplete pass. Yeah, but like and then I don't think the booth official really knew what was going on. I don't think Brady and Burkhardt, I don't think they really knew it was just a really confusing sequence, everything that was going on the field. Like, what, again, I want someone to tell me the guidelines for replay assist. Like, if there was ever a point in the game to make sure we get this right, it should have been then. Like, pump it, slow it down, pump the brakes. Let's bring it in. And was it a catch? Did he get the first down? Did he fumble? Like, it was the biggest play of the season right there. And it just felt like it got hurried, muddled, and glossed over.
So it looked like McVay was going to challenge, and they told him that it basically was reviewed already and it was determined. Look, people are being obtuse about the catch part of this. Cooper Kupp caught the ball and then made a football move. He stretched the ball out to make a football move. Like, that's not what happened with Cooks the other day.
Right.
So that part of it is, and he was down before the ball came out.
Okay.
The question is whether or not he made it. And look, I think that the NFL sometimes doesn't always follow what they say replay review is supposed to do, which is indisputable video evidence to overturn the call on the field. I think a lot of times they just do whatever they want in replay. But I think in this instance, there was not enough evidence to overturn the call on the field, just like the Drake May tush push. Do I think if you were to have a chip in the ball and have better camera, do I think he was just short of the first down, Bear? Probably like, an inch short of the first down, so an inch or two. I just don't think, Sammy, there was enough evidence to overturn the call on the field, and they got the first down.
Well, the issue is the call on the field is so bad, but then and I feel for guys like Dean Blandino. They showed Dean 3 different camera looks, and it looks like 3 different results. And they're like, "What do you think, Dean?" He's like, I don't know. Put him on the spot. He's got 30 seconds to react. They show you 3 camera views. The first one looks like he's short. The second one, it's a clear first down. And the third one, you have no freaking idea.
Right.
Dean, what are you seeing? Dean's like, the hell if I know. Trying to break it down. So the problem is, and it happened in the first game too, the spot is so bad but then you don't have the footage to overturn whatever the call was. If they called it short, it was going to stay short. If they called it good, it was probably going to stay good.
And that's the like they all, we got the virtual measurement now. Virtual measurement doesn't mean shit. It's where you're putting the ball. Like it's not the actual like stretching of the chain to see if it's where you're marking it. That's the issue. But yeah, that was not the reason the Rams lost. That was not the reason the Seahawks won. But it just felt like an unfortunate, just like muddy type of finish to what was an unbelievable game.
There was a lot of weird stuff in that fourth quarter of the NFC game. And I swear, I after my second zebra cake of the day yesterday, I wanted to reward myself for shoveling. I screamed at my television when the Rams scored that touchdown to make it 31-26.
To go for 2.
I screamed 2.
Yep.
I'm like, and it didn't end up mattering, I guess.
Well, no, it did. Because if it's here's why it mattered. If it was 31-26, right? The Rams would have to go for it anyways on fourth down at the end. 31-28, you kick a field goal. Like that's why you tie the game. It absolutely mattered in the end. They should have done it twice. They should have done when they were down 4 the first time, 5, I should say. And they should, in my opinion, they should have done it twice and try to get one of the two. And then you have a better decision to make when it comes to what you're doing there. I think that's where it showed, Sammy. They had a chance at the end there to tie the game with a field goal. Had to go. I'm sure there were no points in fourth quarter. It was like a game that went way over with no fourth quarter points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I did though, Bear. I screamed too. I'm like in my living room screaming 2 to make a 5-point game, a 3-point game. Of course, you have to get it, but I couldn't believe that wasn't even an attempt.
Yeah, no, I couldn't either. And then it would have made that final drive very interesting, where if Puka Nacua does get out of bounds there with 1 second to play or 2 seconds to play, then maybe you got a 65-yard field goal or so to
with the Rams special teams, Bear. That would have been a bad snap. That would have been something dumb. I mean, look, isn't that one thing that we overlook all the time? Like, not like that. We talk their special teams is terrible, and it cost them again in this game.
Yep. I mean, and the returner bobbled and muffed a punt earlier in the game before the one that he was able to hang on to, and then. Obviously, that was a massive play in the game. He's going to go down as one of the GOATs there in the game. So we're looking at what? 4.5, 46.5 is what we're looking at total. Yeah. The 46.5 seems really, really high.
It does.
I agree with Geoff. I don't know how the Patriots are scoring points in this game. And on the other side, are we sure that Seattle is going to have to going to be able to run the ball on New England? No one really has yet. Maybe that leads to a Sam Darnold prop yardage attempts over under 46.5 looks pretty appealing to me though.
Seattle's offensive lines play much better and they're good at left guard, but right guard's a problem. And obviously with Barrymore and Williams, you're going to have a bad matchup somewhere across the board there, Bear. And Seattle ran the ball well in the first half of this game and sort of stopped and then became a Darnold show after that, which they had to do, obviously. I think it's fair to look at this game as under. I like one prop. I haven't made the wager yet because I'm waiting to see how this goes. I like Drake May under rushing. Everyone's going to rush to bet is over. It's going to be 2 weeks of betting is over. Mm-hmm. Seattle plays a ton of zone coverage. They're going to have a linebacker right over the ball every single snap. Drake May does a great job of running the ball against man coverage when the linebackers are out of the box, right? They're in man coverage. I think Seattle's going to make it a mission to his rushing has been very beneficial the last 3 games. So I'm waiting to see where this number. I think it just goes up. We're gonna get that tweet from John Ewing on Sunday morning. The 5 best, 5 props, and number 1 is gonna be Drake May over rushing. Absolutely. So I'm waiting for that number to come in so I can take the under, Sammy.
It sounds like we're warming maybe to the idea of betting some defensive players to win MVP. Maybe Milton Williams, I saw 100-1. Christian Gonzalez, I saw 150-1. If we're sort of forecasting a lower scoring game, maybe a better 2 at long odds, a little bet to win a lot on a defensive player. I will also, guys, I know this. I will have some Travion Henderson props over. And then he will touch the ball 4 times again, like it's just like.
Yeah, they really limited him yesterday, huh? They let Stevenson take a lot of the reps.
He had 4 snaps. He was on the field for 4 snaps.
Yeah. I was surprised.
I'm remembering all my Josh Sweat MVP bets from last year, like 85, 90 to 1 live, and got at one point got to favoritism and didn't catch. And he should have been.
We were sitting there in that hotel
in the restaurant.
The private room that fit like 3 whole people in there.
It's great. I was gonna say it was you, me, and Sully. Basically.
And Sully, yeah,
it was great.
And I think it was on the Fox. I think it was on the Fox. The Fox.
Ton of food. It was awesome.
Ton of food. It was on the Fox dime, so we were just extra stuff for everyone. It was fun. Yeah, I'm okay watch Super Bowl by myself though. I think it's gonna be a by myself thing because we don't have any family members that root for these teams, so I might just be like by myself on the couch. I'm looking forward to that.
I did, Bear. I saw this. I was texting with some of the guys at Circa. Somebody walked in there on August 25th and bet the exacta Patriots to beat the Seahawks.
Oh.
$100 bet to win $310,000.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
That's so yeah. Oh, that's. I mean, you're walking out. You're guaranteeing yourself now $150,000.
Yeah.
If you so choose, like that's real life money. I mean, and one of the things with these big game, we talked about it with the college football semifinals and the college football title game. These money lines get muted in the Super Bowl because people like to take the dog on the money line and lay the points with the favorite. Like that individual, they wait until Saturday, Super Bowl Sunday. They're probably going to get a much better price than the Seahawks money line, and their hedge becomes a lot better. But kudos, wow, that's you talk about $1 in a dream. I wonder how many other bets they made, but that is a shit. That's incredible.
So if you don't have $100,000 in cash to show up to hedge, they'll give you a marker essentially to hedge on that? Yeah, okay.
They'll give you credit because they want to eat some of that back, right? They'd love for you to hedge,
right?
Yeah. I was curious about that. Yeah, that's wow. What a I saw. I think Benson did. Was that Benson's tweet who had the 60 to 1 play?
He did tweet it. I was texting with those guys yesterday about liability and all that because we do some writing on the side here at Fox. So I was trying to figure out who needs what and who's rooting for what. And he's like, we do not need the Patriots to win.
I'm looking forward to Bears college basketball article this week. So it should be good.
Yeah, right.
No, dude, college basketball. Look, as we watch more of this sport,
there were some great games this weekend.
There were a couple better ones, but
terrible games.
Like the last 2 minutes, foul, then 2 shots, then timeout, then a foul, then a layup, then a review, then another timeout. It's so long. You gotta figure out a way to make these games end faster. I can't stand it.
Did you see what our Billikens price is now to make the Final Four, Jeff?
What did my $9 wager make a difference?
Well, I don't know if you moved it with your $9 bet. We talked about St. Louis last week at 80 and 90 to 1 to make the Final Four. FanDuel's got a 20, MGM's got a 40, DraftKings has a 40. We moved that thing, Bear, because of this show.
We were texting during the Purdue Illinois game on Saturday, and this was at the time when I was sending you the note. Purdue, I think, was up 5 in the game, like the under 4 timeout. And I even said, I'm like, I like your Illini team, and they're going to go flying under the radar because of Michigan and Purdue and Michigan State, and then they just knocked down every single shot the rest of the way, and shorthanded and pulled the road upset. They're a dangerous team because they got shot, they got size, and they can shoot.
Well, they got a bunch of itches on the team. They got a bunch of Serbs and Croats on the team.
We're big Balkans fans.
Like me. I'm Serbian. So they got a lot of those guys. Their point guard, Boswell, didn't even play in the game.
Yeah, he's out, right? Yeah.
So he's out for a month, but he should come back. That's a bet. I mean, I like the Final Four bet more than the title bet because you can do more with it. If the team makes it to the Elite Eight, you can put yourself in a good spot. Illinois is 4.25 to make the Final Four. I think that's a really good bet.
It is a really good bet. And the Texas Tech Houston game was a really good game this weekend. UConn Villanova was a really good game. So there were a bunch of excellent college basketball games. But then again, you had your dogs as well, like Jeff was saying. So it'll be interesting to see moving forward. Because unlike last year, where it felt like we kind of knew those teams were going to make the Final Four and ultimately win the title, this year does feel a little bit more wide open.
It does. Right now, bracketology has St. Louis as an 8 seed, which feels not the best. I think we need them off that 8-9 game.
No. Let Nebraska be the one. We'll
Oh
be
no,
the
they
8.
no they
Oh,
they have
come on.
Michigan. It has Michigan right here. Michigan is the 1 seed in the St. Louis region.
Come on, Nebraska. Stop it with Nebraska. It's a 1 seed.
You'd be shocked to learn this, but been hitting that women's basketball, making some money, folks. That's why women's basketball. There's an opportunity to make money.
You're being awfully quiet with those women's hoops picks in the group.
Well, a lot of them are live. We thought the text message, like a lot of them are live with these big favorites. They're 40-point favorites. Okay, they start slow in the first quarter, and they're up 2 after 1 quarter. The number moves to -30. I take it, and they win by 40 still. Like the number just moves way too much. The mismatch, the second string for some of these teams is better than the starters for the team they're playing against. So that's what I do. I wait for the live number to get lower. If I miss it, I miss it. But that's the way I play these women's games. I tell these big UConn, these big favorites, start slow, get a better number, and pounce on it.
I bet Dan Muse, Penguins head coach of the year.
Oh,
the other day at 30-1. Like they have more points than the Golden Knights. They just beat Edmonton on the road. They won again last night. Like they were supposed to be terrible. And they still got Crosby, they still got Malkin, they still got Letang, and the young kids are playing really well. Like, I mean, obviously, you've got your big names at the top, Bednar and John Cooper, but those teams were supposed to be good. Like, I was shocked to see. I think 27-1 was the last price that I saw him now, but it's going to be a pretty good race. So I thought that was worth a shot as well. So just some other stuff that we're kind of betting. Tennis is going to be great this week too.
Oh, did we win?
Lindy's up there. Lindy's like 7-1 in Buffalo. Yeah. That's a hell of a story too.
Yeah, they won like 12 in a row, I think it was. And Red Wings are playing well. No, so we are we're in the quarterfinals now. No, the bonus bet that I gave you, the whatever it was, the boost for the Mahova lost to Coco in 3 sets. She's dead to me. She had a chance to get back on serve and had a break point and couldn't get there, and then wound up losing the third set.
She's dead to me now. No idea who she is.
She should be. But no, the quarterfinals on the women's side are awesome. You got the young American Eva Jovic going against Sabalenka, who Sabalenka should win that match. But you got Pagula and Isamova in one semi, Coco Gauff in one against Alina Svitolina, and then you got a match worthy of the final with Elena Rybakina and Iga Swiatek. Like that's probably going to be like the 3 a.m. match, but that might be.
Are you up for that?
I am going. I was just about to say that's one to either stay awake for, take a nap, wake up in the middle of the night, watch, and then because that's going to be a great match.
I also, Jeff, you asked last week about baseball. I don't know if you guys saw all the moves the Mets made in the last week.
Yeah,
they have a loaded lineup and they have like one pitcher. So if we get that win total to like 92.5 or 93 under.
There's breaking news in the NFL right now. Sources: Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders has been added to the Pro Bowl roster as a replacement.
Oh, that's cute.
They still have the Pro Bowl.
I guess. I think it's like a skills competition this week. I haven't watched it since it got rid of the game. I want to play in that Aloha Stadium with 24,000 fans in the stadium. Everyone's a little hungover from enjoying their time too much in Hawaii. I do want to give Bear a shout out. You said last week to bet Scotty Scheffler every single time he takes the course, and 1 for 1. Scheffler, easy winner, four-stroke winner.
He almost got to 30 under yesterday. He got to 28 and had a couple holes left to play, and he almost got to that. He does. How dare he double bogey the par 3 late there, and only wound up winning, I think, by 4 shots. Well, he is amazing. And to echo what Sammy had said, that you parlay Scheffler to win with other things, and you get the price up. So now not only do you have the outright winner, you play him on the outright and parlay it with something else, and your 380 or whatever it was, 350, 300, whatever it was last week prior to the tournament, that turns into now 5 to 6 to 1. So teamwork here. Baseball, I did bet something the other day in baseball too. I got I got a baseball boost or something, or a bonus bet that I had to use from FanDuel. I bet Kyle Bradish, AL Cy Young winner at 45-1. And the reason I did that was because if you think Tarik Skubal is going to be dealt, and I think a lot of people feel like he's going to be dealt, that may take him out of winning the AL Cy Young. And obviously you got Garrett Crochet, who's obviously great, but he's 3.5-1. And then you got, after that, you got a Jacob deGrom. Is he going to stay healthy? Cole Reagan's coming back from injury. Garrett Cole's coming back from injury. Max Fried is going to have the same type of year. There are a lot of question marks at the next level. And if you look at Bradish, the guy who was fourth in the Cy Young voting a couple of years back, injury, missed almost all of 2024, came back in August, pitched really great. Orioles could be a lot better this year. We'll see. That was a bet that I thought was worth a while. So if you can still get close to 45-1 or so on Bradish, I'd take a look at that.
I don't know. You couldn't even tell me if you told me what if you asked me what team he was on before this discussion, Bear. Just I would have stonewalled until you told me the answer.
And there's some thought. You talk about pitchers still being available. I think Framber Valdez is still out there, and there was a lot of rumblings about him potentially going to the Orioles as well. So the Orioles, after being a massive disappointment last year, the Orioles might be a team to be looking at in the future market this year. So we got baseball, we got golf, we got some NHL. Any other bets out there? Okay, college basketball. Any other bets out there to potentially be looking at before we wrap this bad boy up?
You got any bets on Kazakhstan or something like that going right now? Or
no,
what?
I did bet Portugal to reach the semi in the World Cup though.
I missed that text message.
The price is still out there.
Oh,
they got a very favorite, the way that the draw. Well, I talked about this with Stu Holden weeks ago on our World Cup.
Yeah, you kicked us off that show though. We weren't on that show.
Yeah. Well, so you don't listen to shows you're not a part of. I see how this.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay,
That's basically.
Gotcha. Yeah, Portugal to win Portugal to get to the semis, and Mikel Oyarzabal, I believe, is the correct Basque pronunciation. Plays for Real Sociedad in La Liga. I bet him a golden boot at 30-1
to reach quarterfinal. You said for Portugal.
Yes.
Parlay that with Scheffler to win the Masters.
Plus 111. Is that what you got?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Just wheel it with Scotty.
Are we? How is Team USA going to do? Are we going to be disappointed? I feel like we make our soccer team out to be like it's the '92 Dream Team, and get so worked up about it, and then when they lose, they get all angry. And then some rational mind is like, "Yeah, we're actually not that good. So, like, why would you expect us to be better than we are?"
Yeah, we're not that good. we will get out of the group where it's, if you don't make it out of your group, you really, 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 really stink this year.
Okay.
Because they expanded it, which was ridiculous, and now you got third place teams going to be getting out. So there really is no. You're going to hear people, oh, the group of death. There is no group of death anymore with three teams getting out. So and now you got with the expansion. So it'll be another additional round to win, and then the way it's a big to do. But no, we will get out. We should, because of the favored nation status as a host nation. We got put in a great group, and it should. Well, I'm not saying it's a lock. We're going to win the group, but we will get out.
I can't wait. They're going to play somebody. It'll be 0-0, and I will laugh all the way through. Oh, 0-0 final.
Sammy gets a little fire when it comes to soccer.
The last World Cup, they were tied with Iran at like the 80th minute. What?
I will go to my grave. Nothing. If I can make one bet for the rest of my life, and only one bet only, it would be a high stakes soccer match under knockout round under 2.5. Like that's my go-to bet, because I love betting against human achievement. It's hard to score a goal. Everyone, goals. Now, under 2.5.
All right.
Sammy, Geoff, always a pleasure. We'll be back again next week with a little bit more of a breakdown. Maybe we can bring up Buddy Will Hill in for a nice round roundtable. Will always has an interesting, proper angle or viewpoint on a game that us three bozos don't necessarily think of. So appreciate everybody watching, listening. We're back on Tuesday next week. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcast type information. For Sammy, for Geoff, I'm Bear. Remember, less you bet, more you lose when you win.